That afternoon, Busia managed to recover a few more body parts from the passengers who had died in the accident. Among the finds were a wrist, an arm, and a right ankle. These parts were almost intact, although separated from the original bodies and belonging to different people. She, Finya, and the forensic officers faced the arduous task of reassembling these disconnected parts to their respective bodies. The dilemma was to join a leg to a torso, only to discover they belonged to different individuals. The complexity of identification in disasters and accidents lies precisely in this point. The discovery of the mummified skull from the previous morning disturbed her, making it hard to concentrate. It was intriguing that something like that was there, probably brought by someone unaware it would be his last flight. When she looked through the passenger files, she noticed some connections to the antiques trade, explaining some of the strangeness. Despite her desire to delve deeper into the victims' stories, the priority was to recover as many fragments as quickly as possible. Bua remembered a rumor in the archaeological community about how some mummified bodies or sarcophagi have curses affecting those who disturb them. Although scientifically unproven, she never underestimated unseen forces. Many phenomena science cannot explain, especially those from ancient times before science emerged. Bua has never dismissed stories that lack concrete explanations. There are so many unknowns, and the curse of the mummies is one of them. It's fortunate Finya was there for the discovery, otherwise, Bua wouldn't have known what to do. Another question arose: how did that skull get there? Busia had heard about the antiques trade, where older pieces are more valuable. Mummification has long fascinated archaeologists. Besides the preservation method without chemicals, this knowledge came from ancient wisdom and available resources. Such relics are highly valuable, and some strange people prefer to own them as trophies rather than preserving them as cultural heritage. Busia knew this reality well, evidenced by a recent case where a Homo erectus skull was stolen while being transported for an exhibition. The search for it continued, but it would likely be lost, representing a great loss to anthropology. Specimens like these are rare. Finding an extinct human fossil is like searching for a needle in an ocean. Homo erectus, closely related to modern humans, is a key species for understanding human evolution. But some prefer to display such relics in their homes. "Where should I put this?" a young forensic officer asked, bringing Bua back to the moment. She indicated an empty stretcher, and the officer placed the newly recovered body there. "Thank you," she said, and continued her work. Hours passed. She intended to check the body, but, realizing it was nearly dinner time, decided she had to finish quickly or skip a meal. The deadline for clearing the area was 15 to 20 days, to make it available for local agriculture again. It was clearly not enough time to locate all the bodies and identify the 15 victims, with only 5 forensic experts. Putting body parts together was already an extremely complicated task. The forensic team was responsible for collecting tissue samples for lab analysis, comparing them with family samples to confirm identities. When Bua returned to her tent, it was almost 9 at night. After a brief meal, she discussed the investigation's progress with the aviation department director, noting he hadn't mentioned the mummified skull. She assumed Finya hadn't informed him yet, which was unusual, but not questioned. Finya had offered to take responsibility, and Bua wasn't interested in prolonging a conversation with her. Their past arguments now seemed insignificant. Perhaps maturity had softened past rivalries. Bua saw this mission as an opportunity to contribute to the common good, making it worthwhile.